Whoa. Hmm? Yeah. Alrighty, let's talk DeFi. This is DeFi Ask Me Anything, so you can ask me anything. Until people kind of tune in, I'm just going to briefly talk about the markets, the fact that the markets are not very good, and then move on to the fact that DeFi is still where you can continue to profit by getting farming rewards, doing well with Meteor. You can also go across any blockchain that you're after. So we'll wait for some questions to come on in. We can talk about basically like anything you're after. In the meantime, we can see that there's been a little bit of a Bitcoin dip down to 86,000, and then it's kind of picked up a little bit. There seems to be maybe a little bit of pressures come off from Binance and Wintermute, but we'll have to wait and see. I do have a theory that like the market makers, they will push the liquidations and they'll push them. And then if they push too hard, because they can choose the direction, the whales can choose the direction where they want to go, then too many people will give up. So they are greedy enough to make profit, and then they get back to letting it kind of have a bit of fun. All right. So when it comes to DeFi farming the previous cycle was a whole lot of fun, but there was a lack of people playing there. And because there's a lack of number of people playing there were more rugs, there were more smart contract vulnerabilities, and the rewards were far more speculative. Probably one of the coolest, most craziest tokens to launch was QuickSwap, which was on the Polygon network. Now, Polygon back in the previous cycle was doing very, very well. Excuse me, I'm a bit of something in my eye. It was doing really, really well, and it was doing well because Ethereum was just too expensive. So ETH was like too expensive. People started on ETH, and then they bridged across to Polygon, and Polygon took a whole lot of market share and Aave and whatnot. And this is a clone, or this is a fork of Uniswap. So Uniswap is open source and whatnot. Now, this meant that like the first time I ever got this token, because I started playing early, and I think I'm understanding, and I think I need to learn more technical analysis and kind of have like buy signals and sell signals that of course won't be financial advice. Nothing will be. But the reason why I think DeFi is far more fun is you're forced to learn these things. It's like you're having fun, you get a win, you make a loss, you learn and you evolve, and you also potentially get airdrops, which is why I think it's very worthwhile actually playing on a blockchain, not just playing on a centralized exchange, longing, shorting, buying spot, selling spot, etc. Anyway, so this token like first launched, it doesn't show on this chart here, but like at nothing, like 80 cents, $1, and then it ran up a crazy peak of 516, and then it came up again, and this top was when Elio Trades mentioned it in a live stream, and I don't even know what the market cap was at the time, but it would have been absolutely insane. Oh, it wasn't even that crazy. 300 million. Now it's significantly smaller, and there's probably not a lot of traction over there, but nevertheless, it was fun while it lasted, right? It was definitely fun while it lasted. Other people tried to replicate that, and it just didn't work. Let's see if this token is still kind of Dino. This one was a pretty good one. Actually, another good YouTuber that used to do this was Taiki Maeda, and I think he still does it, but not like he did previously. Taiki Maeda. So he was like, he used to do a whole lot of just DeFi farming stuff. He'd put on like farmer's hat and he'd have a whole lot of fun. And at one stage, like I was ahead of him in terms of the farms he jumped into, and then he just kept on, getting down, and he did really, really well. Now this token Dino, it launched. It was supposed to be potentially like a pancake swap competitor, and it had this major price, and then it came down. Now we're not going to see these opportunities again, unfortunately, because there's too many people that understand that these are, like, the speculation on this, people understand tokenomics a bit better. But I still feel that there will be a significant rotation into DeFi. And I've been logged out. Maybe I logged in on my other computer, so I can't log into here right now. But we can see when I go into portal of Cato normally that we're increasing the amount of market share that's focused on DeFi. So that's basically that's what we're kind of. That's why this focus is here. DeFi is far more sustainable than a meme coin that goes up and then it comes down and then it just kind of implodes. It's always how it is. All right. See your questions here, Funai. Am I feeling bullish today? Look, I'm feeling. I don't really get any misemotion, or I don't get emotional due to markets these days. I certainly thought it would have been a good idea if I took some profits previously, of course. I didn't think it was going to go that low, but I do feel that, yeah, I think we are going to start to go up again. I just don't think the market makers are going to keep on pushing us down, to be perfectly honest. And anyway, thanks for everyone for tuning in. Let's dive in. So what are we trying to work out here? We're trying to work out, like, where can we outperform the market by LPing that will potentially give us reward points, as well as like outperform impermanent loss, which is an absolute given. And then also with some sort of security, right? Because with all the TVL that's on all these different blockchains, we'll have to have a look at the different chains that has the most. We want to look for things that are changing. The amount of active addresses are climbing. The TVL is kind of growing. It's being bridged in. Like on Solana, we can look at anything, but I still feel that like Meteor is just the only thing like super worthwhile. Sorry, I've got something in my eye. So Meteor, and then we've got BSC is a bit of fun. I'll show you what I'm kind of looking at there. Berachain, Base. There will be some opportunities on Sui. Avalanche is starting to get some attention again. Aptos only has 54 protocols over there. And Sonic. These are kind of my main things that I'm more focused on. And I think Sonic will probably do pretty well. So Sonic, let's start with some basics, right? So in this wallet here, I can grab this wallet and I can go to sonar.watch, plug it in, and it's going to show me all of the open positions in Meteor and Orca and Radium and whatnot. And this is a tutorial wallet, and there's a whole lot of just random stuff in there. So it doesn't make like perfect sense. But we can see in Meteor, we've got some stuff. So let's go and click on Meteor. So Meteor is harder, and they don't give you any rewards. But I imagine that their MET token will launch in the coming months. And I'm so sorry, I've got something in my eye. It will launch in the coming months, maybe April, May, June. It could be a little bit of delay. You are getting MET points. You will highly likely get the MET token. And then they may even reward you with further MET tokens by, oh my goodness, sorry. They may even reward you with further MET tokens by incentivizing pools. So in this portfolio, which I don't even know what I've got in here, I'm out of range. So you do need to watch the range far more carefully. But for just like fun things to kind of jump into, like Jupe Sol USDC, these sort of things, they won't print a whole lot in fees, but they will print maybe enough for you to get started, like Sol USDC. Let's have a look at something. Right now, because there's a bit of activity in this range, you could probably earn 1% a day, but it will go down. Yeah. But the most fun is to play with things that have a lot of trading volume and to get in and get out. And we might just jump into something. Don't really want to do this fake Kanye token because I don't like it, but I might just do it to show you. So we've covered this a few times. Basically, if you're looking at this on, say, like the 1 minute chart, which is what you'll quite often do when it comes to a brand new meme coin that you think is going to do well, ideally a lack of snipers, it'll be safe, it won't have this kind of rug potential. We can even grab this token and we can go to dupe.ag and we can have a look at its trench score as well. Come to the trenches, search here, has 92. So top 10, a little bit high. If we're going to look at something like this, probably our first step is to work out where can a range be, because we want to provide liquidity in an ideal situation. And we don't have really like this clear range, right? Because, I mean, it could be something like this. It could be like this. Here, but it's 22 hours old. So I'm more looking to see, like, it's doing a whole lot of volume right now. It's not a real YOR token, so we've got a whole lot of risk, but we may just jump in for some fun. And on this particular thing, our RSI is low. Our MACD is looking as though it's going to switch bullish soon. So I could potentially, and you don't have to follow along with this, but I'll just show you. We could potentially come down 20%. And if we come down 20%, maybe this token, we can get filled on it, and then it can go up and we'll just take our profits. And we can make 10% like that fast. Let's go have a little search for it. Excuse me, it's printing. Got 1.62 Sol. I'm going to go into this top pool here, add a position, 1 Sol. Now I'll do 0.5. Bid ask. I said I want to come down 22%, so I'll go a little bit deeper than that, something like that. And I'm going to change it if it doesn't go down that low. I'm also going to add a bit of spot, 0.5, just in spot in the same range. And we're going to kind of watch this. And I'll do this each time we do a DeFi stream. That way we can work out what's like, how would I play these DLMM opportunities. In the meantime, let me take some questions. It's time to be more greedy or fearful. Let me show you. So the fear and greed index is obviously one of our best indicators, right? And of course it can go more fearful, but 25 is as fearful as we have had since like September last year. So this is pretty fearful. You ideally want to buy when we get fearful. Being in this no man's land, this is just so boring. The market's basically deciding, are we getting greedy or are we getting fearful? So now, would be a good time to buy. Even just yesterday, like buying yesterday, it was a little bit too premature. But you can always DCA into this. So I think it's, we can of course go down a little bit more, but I just don't think Binance and the Wintermute and whatnot are going to push us down a little bit further on Solana specifically. Now, what's the safest full range strategy with a giant Solana bag? Just set and forget. If you want to maximize profits, then you do not want to just set it and forget it, because then you will be, you're going to have impermanent loss. And as Sol gets more and more expensive, then you're just not going to do terribly well. And I can have a look at a couple of things for you. You could jump into here. Here we are. We're buying this dip here, which could work out well. It may not. It's a 22-hour token. You could jump into pools and then dynamic pools and put it all into Sol and USDC or whatever pair you liked. And then this pool would be earning 88%, based on the 24-hour fee yield. Throw it all in here, whatever, 50-50 if you want, but it's not concentrated, and you probably just going to be better off just, I'm not showing my screen, sorry. You're probably better off, this is a pool here, a dynamic pool, so not a DLMM. You put in here, you deposit, and all the fees come back into this. So you can do it like that if you want to do it like that. But the issue here is, like, you're probably just better off just literally, honestly, taking the Sol, staking it with Validate.com, and just letting the cycle do its thing. Sol's not going to, Sol has not reached its top, in my opinion, at all. So instead, you probably want to just play around with a small amount. Not any sort of financial advice. Just that's what I would do. Is play around with a small amount and just see if you can find it fun enough to have small wins. Please do not, if you've got like $1,000, please don't go jumping in $200 and just each time. And if you fail 5 times, you're out. Just go with something small, $50, $50 or less. Just work on trying to get that profit in the DLMM side. So look at this. Okay, already asked that. I bought 10K worth of Sol today and 10K of Sui. I was going to swap Sol for Jupso and put it into Camino. The Sui I was going to stake or maybe swap for Hasui. Any better ideas? You can go with Jupso. You can go with staking directly, there, like with any validator if you want. And if you're going to put it into Jupso, I assume you're going to go and loop it, which you're more than welcome to do. I'm just going to keep an eye on this chart, see what it does. Of course, like everyone that watches me, please stake a little bit of Sol with Validate.com. But then if you want to go with Jito Sol, Jupe Sol, I get it. If you come into these markets here and you go and multiply your position with Jupe Sol, it all depends on how the market is behaving. If you try and leverage up your Jupe Sol right now, you're not able to do so because there's so much demand on Sol itself that you're losing money. It's 20% just to go and put your Sol into this market because so much of it is borrowed. So I don't like these looping strategies. I just feel that you're exposing yourself to more risk than you need to. So you can hold the LST, that's completely fine. You can stake directly, that's fine. And with your Sui, I see the other thing related to your Sui. I'm going to start to get back into some tutorials on Sui and just moving house this week. So a little bit busy, but basically, like, well, this is a DeFi AMA. So I would encourage a little bit of, LPing just to learn stuff. So we're talking about DeFi here, pumpkin.fun. I'm unsure if they've launched anything yet. So I need to see. I'm really a big fan of people actually launching a product before I give too much of an opinion. I gave my opinion in a Twitter space on pumpkin.fun quite some time ago, but I jumped in more because like someone was jumping and saying like, go, you've made money, now you can leave India, which is what you all wanted. It was just like racist. And so I jumped in and kind of stood up with them for them. But I don't have anything. I bought some, put into a DLMM, down on the DLMM. The token itself, let's have a look. It's a very good idea, right? But it is true that they did, someone on their team did snipe the token. And they just now need to ship. And I don't know if they've actually managed to ship their tokens. Got a very small rug probability. And the LP is not burnt, but it's done a different way. So I wouldn't say go and buy this token. I wouldn't say that anyway, but I'm just saying if they can launch something, if they have launched something, then cool. That is what's far more important, that like a token exists because the app is actually there. Explore preview. So it's just you can't launch anything yet. And this is what I'm far more fearful of, is that everything just takes too long to actually ship. And yeah, so I can't, I'll reach out to someone and say like, what's the schedule here? Because it should have already been launched. How are we going here with our fake Yi token? So we're ideally waiting for this MACD to cross. and at which time we'll flick it out and we'll start selling it, and we'll buy a little bit more just to see if it kind of works. And it looks like we could be flipping out. So I'll put my attention back on that. Got another question here. Why live today? What's your take on Monad? And have you done a tutorial about how to use test tokens? Thanks for watching. I haven't done a tutorial. I did a Twitter post on it a couple of days ago, and I will do a tutorial. I should do a tutorial soon, actually. It's just their faucet was down. Like, Ethereum is the second, biggest community, and they want, ETH maxis want things to succeed, and Ethereum is like very, very cool, and they paved the way for everyone else in terms of smart contracts. So I think Solana has a lot more ability to cater to the world, but something like Monad or Mega ETH, they're going to find product market fit by, being a more centralized design, similar to Solana, more centralized, but still decentralized. They just took a whole lot of time to actually ship. Excuse me. But yeah, like, go and play. Definitely go and play. It may also, like, we have to be careful because maybe the chain's going to be a bit of exit liquidity, is what some people kind of deem. I have 22 SOL right now and want to safely, without much risk, make as much as possible. I'm happy with 0.5%. Can you show me how to set it on Sol USDC? So I've done this in a video channel. I've done this in a video, but with 22 SOL and the fact that you'd have to put some USDC and you'd be selling the SOL so cheap, I would just say, just practice with $20, $50. Please just practice. It's like the Matrix. It kind of starts to click eventually. It just takes a little bit of time. All right, we've started to bounce on up with Yi. So I'm going to go and withdraw this and close the position, come out of there, and I'm going to go and grab with my extra SOL that I'm getting back, hopefully, that transaction go through, just because this is now flicked green, or it did flick green. Did it just close red? All right, well, we look like we're coming to cross. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to front run it just a little bit. There's a small amount of green there. Maybe it doesn't stay green on the right there, but it should do. 0.5. Swap, confirm, approve, and let's have a look at like what kind of range it could do potentially. It could go up as far as 40%. Now I'm not going to be greedy, so we're going to go and do. I'm going to go and do something that goes up 20%, because if I get even 10% or 5%, I'm like happy with that. And then I'll add a second position, which is more of a bid ask. So it goes higher and higher, and I'll have this go all the way up to 35%. And this is more of a leave it there for a short time just to make that profitability. So this is not going to show up perfectly or very, very well with these tools because I'm single-siding it. And there's a bug with this, but you can see I've put in $100. Put in $100, we'll work out what we get as it goes higher and higher. I'll have a look at some other questions, but I'll leave that on the screen. Christopher Toj, I use this to market being always down, always buy. I don't know what you mean by that. And HHH, you're starting your DLMM journey and cannot wait to learn more. It's the people that I would like recommend following would be anyone from Goostel. So finding anyone that has one of these geese, like I have one, they're just a random PFP project that they kind of went with. I like Chief a lot. He's really cool. Mario is an absolute, like literally meme coin assassin is a very accurate way to talk about how he is. Some people share more stuff than others. Heavy Metal Cook does well. They share stuff, but just keep in mind that for most of these, they're not they're not multi-day plays. They're like get in, get out, get in, get out. Because Solana is this chain of nothing like amazing is kind of coming through in the meme coin world that's sitting there for a whole length of time. So you kind of jump in, jump out. And also another thing is, there's other people out there as well, like short form content, short form king. He does DLMing stuff, but it's in the kitchen, so you need to like purchase an NFT to like gain access to stuff. Token guys are really good as well, and it's just kind of fun. But back to this. So when we're looking at this and we're just having a little bit of a fun play on a token which we don't care about, there's no emotional attachment here. We're just like, can we profit off it? Can we earn some fees at the same time? And can we sell higher? If this formed a range for like a day or two and it seemed like it was good, we may leave it there for a bit of fun. So I've done that with PEP, which has now kind of suffered a little bit. Oh, it's down there, but it's always just been there. And I don't know what it's about, but it just kind of likes to just have a bit of fun. And the range is quite large, but it's still just been printing fees. So when it's like that, I may leave it run, but something like this, I won't. So I'm almost at the top out of this here. This is selling spot, higher price, and earning a little bit of swap fees. And these swap fees get me MET points. And look, your liquidity plus this is, well, I thought I put in, yeah, okay. I mean, that wasn't like super profitable. Now, I'll also leave it here for a little bit in case it kind of comes on down for while it's in this kind of cycle. And I definitely probably could have kept it longer because there is more momentum here, and it could go all the way up there. I'm just trying not to be greedy. What I've done with this first one is a spot market, meaning there's a certain amount of tokens in each pool, and that's fun. That's fine, and it just means that we can earn some fees, and we're not selling more down here and less down here. We're just selling. However, it's now out of range. It's not making anything. If I close it, we'll work out what our profit is. But I'm not sure if it's actually going to show me. But I know that we put in basically $49 worth of the token, and then we took out 52 plus 2, right? So we can work that out manually if we need to. Now, Metlex, I believe it might be working now, but it doesn't tend to give us our profit and loss. Oh, okay, it did. Okay. So I made 13%, $6.48, which is fine. 4 minutes and 32 seconds. I could have kept it there and let it go higher. And it's not always going to play out like this, but if you go back and kind of check things, and if the markets are in a bit of a bullish sentiment, which obviously right now it's hard to say if it is, but if you do this a couple of times a day, and if it goes down to the downside, like if it starts to go green and then it goes red again, just, my strategy is just cut my losses and hoping that, I lose 3%, I lose 3%, I lose 3%. This one here, we didn't do it with very much. And we probably couldn't put in an insane amount of money into it. We could have probably put in, like, if I had in this tutorial wallet, like 5 Sol or whatever, could have put 5 Sol, maybe 10 Sol into it, and that could have done okay. And I'm just happy just to take the win. And then I'll kind of let the MACD reset, the RSI come down, and I'll just make sure that volume's still good, and then I'll go off again. Even though this is not a legitimate Kanye West token. Here it's having a little bit of resistance down here, but like I'm still printing some fees. I'm gonna just have a look at some questions here. Hey Audie, how are you? Gary Mans, what is the best way to grow a small portfolio quickly with a medium to high risk profile and a lot of time to monitor? I honestly, Meteor, DLMing, there's nothing better. There's nothing better. It's just, there's like an active community. You can find opportunities all the time. If I didn't make content and if I just sat in front of this, it would be pretty lucrative, I think. But it'd also be, I like making content. I like trying to teach people stuff. So that's what that is. Ahoy him. What do you think about the situation with M3? They called it the official meme coin of Meteor. We're promoting it today. They ignore it and say it's Ben's fault. I didn't actually manage to watch the live stream, so I'm unsure if they said it like that. I can have a look in Meteor's Discord to see if there's anything that's been announced in there. Let's have a quick look. Meteor, the road ahead. Let's have a look. Let's have a read of this. I'm going to pull out here as well. Like, it can still pump up higher, but it could also just be coming down. And I'm okay with just withdrawing, closing the position for some sort of profit, taking all of this Yi and just immediately swapping it into Sol, and then trying to generate my P&L, but I dismissed it. Either way, that was another profitable adventure. So that's cool. And you know, that's what I mean about like not being too greedy. We could have thought, wow, we're going to come all the way up to this range again. But like even 10%, if you do 10% 10 times, let's say you do 10% 20 times, and you make it 15 times and you lose 5 times, you're still making 100%, and you can do that in a day. You just have to pick the right coins and not be too greedy, I think. And it does help if there's a good market. All right, let's have a look at this Meteor statement. Let's go through it. I've said before, like, I don't agree with everything that other, you know, Dupe does, Meteor does, Community does. I don't agree with everything, every decision I make. I don't agree that I didn't sell anything at like 280, 270, 280, 290. So let's have a read through, because the TLDR is M3. Yeah, it was a big blow. I'm just not emotional because I've lost money too many times that there's plenty of resilience. But I do feel that you're hugely a violation of trust. And I hope there's some sort of snapshot in the future where anyone that kind of jumped in there, they get some extra MET points which convert to tokens. That would be a worthwhile thing. Like if you're buying it now or after the rug, then no, but early on. Okay, recent weeks have been tough tests of our resilience, but one thing's certain, we're not backing down. Powerful liquidity layer, true. Strongest LP army, yes. Reorganize, refocus, level up. What's next? Doubling down on our strengths. Cutting edge liquidity tech and an unstoppable community. This means focusing on empowering our users, devs, LP army. So improving that. Fine. SDKs and whatnot. Empowering the LP army. We'll be adding additional communication feedback channels and supporting more community-led initiatives. These initiatives aim to highlight our key contributors and ensure that our community has a stake in shaping Meteor's future. Building upon our LP stimulus proposal, we will continue to enhance the existing point system to fairly reward all LPs in Meteor. Our steps to achieve this include, cool, fine. LP army stronger. Okay, so they don't mention anything about M3 here, M3 here. So I feel that it's kind of putting it off for now. And my expectation on that is because Dupe is currently getting, I believe they're getting an audit done by Wazzy Lawyer, something like that. And that means that they're getting a full audit done. They're going to work out, you know, where were the screw ups done, and then they can work out how can they take responsibility for it. Dupe Meteor is what I'm referring to. This is all related to M3 and whatnot. So just to pull this up for a second, unless you've got some other information, which I'll scroll down and see if you've replied, I wouldn't jump on them too early. But yeah, definitely. Okay, moving forward, M3 is dead, and you know, it's not a good thing to try and recommend a token. I prefer if I could just make a tutorial on this is how you use this app, and this is how I find good tokens in and out, because that's what people do. And then if you build your own conviction because the community's strong, that's cool. That's on you. With the exception being, I literally think that Dupe will be like, there's buy pressure. There's buy pressure, and they're building the future, and they make mistakes and they fix them, and they're more transparent than anyone else. They're not perfect team. There's no such thing as a perfect team. Thank you. Thanks for watching. I'm just going to scroll on down and see if you did. And would you trust that audit? Because I personally lost total trust. Look, I would, yeah, I mean, I would trust it. Here, I think this is the truth that I think is the truth for me. When it comes to, market manipulation, inside deals, all this sort of stuff, we've just seen soldiers being slaughtered. We've seen, we know that big market makers, they hunt for liquidation levels and they push the market how they want. So all this stuff happens. It's just, that's just happened in a way where, like, we it's all behind closed doors. This stuff came out and it was not behind closed doors. But I will say one thing. I think what Motti did with that video was, like, maybe, like, overall is kind of good, except there was too many general points in it. And I'll give you an example. And I would happily have a conversation with Motti. Like, if I'm going to say anything bad about someone or give some feedback, I'll happily say it directly to them. And if they want to say stuff to me, I'm fine with that as well. But Jakey's video here, which you can watch yourself, they basically said that, Jakey, everyone was involved. Everyone was involved. I hate these general points. And so when he was doing this, Motti was doing this recording this video with Ben. He was saying he was fishing for stuff, like, and Hayden said that, like, they've got enough dirt on you if you ever decided to not use them again. And Ben was like, what? And you have to wonder, like, well, Motti's just gone and generalized the whole statement, recorded it essentially illegally, and uploaded it in order to get DeFi Tuna out of any kind of trouble by throwing someone else on the bus. So the question is, would I trust it? Far more inclined to trust it than not trust it, to be honest. All right. Let's have a quick look at Yi before I take any more tokens, any more questions. Cool. So we ran up from our green candle here. We went up 30%, although I didn't make that. It came on down. I closed it out, but it still made, one thing made 13%, another one probably made like 20. And then I sold the tokens immediately, and I was too busy to check this, but I always want to make sure, you always want to make sure that you're getting out. And then if this kind of repeats, if it comes on down, we may even try it again. And if it goes up, if it flicks green, well, we've missed an opportunity, or we can re-enter if we want to. And there's a whole lot of different things that we can talk about on this. We want these lines to really come above. And when they really come above, that's when we're like cooking. Okay. More questions. I'm just going all the way up. Would you still add liquidity to token on Met if it has 100% rug pull classification on GMGN? Good question. Maybe for like a very short time. Let's have a look and see if there's anything here that is like that. So firstly, I have a degen audit set up. So I make sure that it's all, because if something's not burnt, then there's no way I would ever touch it, because it's just, there's too much risk. So I have it like this. I don't have like an exact number of minutes or hours that I want it to be open for. Doge AI. I mean, I don't know how this launched and how it was so successful. Twitter renamed twice. That's not really a big deal. But I'd have to actually look at it specifically. But if it was 100, like if you look at some of these things, let's see if there's any of them that kind of show. If it shows like 100% chance of a rug, I think it would be a good idea. Like this rug probability, 100%, 2 of 2. It's like, because there's like 2 people dumping. This token's been ranging and down and whatnot, and up and whatnot for so long that it's been printing fees. That, yeah, I'll completely ignore this 100%. And then if I go and have a look in Dupe, so I'll go back to Dupe and have a look at the organic rating in the trenches as an 89 is kind of decent. Just the top 10 has a bit of a high amount. So yeah, I definitely would, depending on the token. Sorry, I just changed it back out of the fake E token. So bring that back. Here, like, you know, it's kind of risky, of course. It's a brand new token, but you can see this range here. You could just be printing fees in this entire time. 5 minutes is 64,000. Yeah. Good work, Audie. Good work. Do I still use Hawkfi? I kind of had a bit of a Matrix moment with Meteor, where I kind of like it all started to like properly click. Like things click to a point where you're like, oh yeah, this could work, this could work, this could work. I can see how I can do this, and then it just kind of clicks, and it's just like clicks. And I don't have the tutorial wallet loaded in this browser, but I like this could be good to farm Met fees and farm Met points, and they take but they don't choose necessarily the right time. I mean, you can configure this your way, and Token Guy has some good ideas how to do it, and yeah, it could work out for you. But I don't really use it. But I like what they've done, but I don't really use it because it's made it less complicated, but it's still a complex thing that is you have to kind of learn it. So once you've learned it, well, then you don't really need it unless you want to put some things on autopilot and those sort of things. Yeah, go for it. So I'm using it, but not really. Have a look over here. We can talk about other, we'll go through these and we can talk about other opportunities, other DeFi opportunities. Thank you for those profiles. You're welcome. Do you think LSTs are a good idea? When one stakes with the validator, no one can access to funds. With LSTs, the platform provider has control over all the funds. So LSTs, like Validate.com was a little bit slow to move on LSTs. And now I have to actually get one up. The issue is that people need to understand how LSTs work and that they can depeg short term if there's a whole lot of sell pressure. And yeah, like if you had a whole lot of money, you would probably go with like just JitoSol or stake directly with a validator because it's the least amount of risk. If you've got hundreds of millions or millions and millions, you'd go with that. You don't care about this tiny extra bit of yield. But for us, without it, we're probably going to risk it. I would say the Sanctum side would be very, very decently secure, and the risk would be minimal. I use LSTs, and I will be using the Validate.com LST. So yes, with LSTs, the platform provider, Sanctum, has control over all the funds, ultimately, in some upgrade authority to the contract or whatever. Sure. How do you still talk about points after what happened with Meteor and Hayden Davis? Do you still expect Met token this year? Yeah, like crypto forgets things, and some things, as freaking annoying as they are, and you could say bad or evil, whatever, they've all been done before. It's just these guys got caught, and it was connected to Meteor. All right, so we've just flicked green, and I didn't watch it, so I'm just going to go try this again. See if we can not be too greedy. Go swap half. I would probably try and buy the tokens, not swap, because that way I'm not. I would try and put them like buy it in one block, in one bin. Normally, I've gotten a little bit late, so I'm going to set it for like 30%. But I will get out sooner and just change it if necessary. We've had a bit of price movement. Cool. I want to see, we've just gone green again. And in an ideal way, after this green candle, which is here, we would have, well, we haven't gone up too much, but we've already been up 6% if we watch this kind of move. So we'll set that here while we're waiting for some stuff to go. All right. I got a little bit late. We'll see how we go. We did, what do we do? 0.5 Sol. Okay. Back to this question. How do you still talk about points after what happened with Meteor? Okay, so yeah, do I expect the MET token this year? Yeah, most definitely. Like the exact end of the bull market is no one knows for sure. There's speculation that's like November, October, whatnot. However, the whales decide, and I think the greater economic cycle will decide as well, which means crypto could still be going fairly strong until the early 2026, and then just kind of the 18.6 year property cycle kind of indicates that it's going to start to fall off and be kind of brutal, potentially. But I need to watch more my friend Jason Pizzina stuff to learn that. Long story short, yeah, the MET token has to come out. Plus, there's all these people been farming it and putting in all the support, and you definitely need, they are waiting for this token. Token gives you an incentive. Jupiter can work out some things on like, good tokenomics, bad tokenomics from their experience. I would love it if a token came out 50%, boom. 50%, low market cap, boom. Some of the teams unlock, boom. And then it just comes out increasingly over the next few years. But it's just like 50%, just bam. That would be freaking sick. And the people that were like hustling, they can stake their MET, they can claim some revenue share, or I don't know, whatever. It'd be cool. Is this the first stream? This is the first stream today, but it is, I think, the third video released today. Probably MET points on the new Seeker, the new Solana Seeker. I don't know what you mean by that. Oh, gotcha. So what do MET points do? Well, MET points will just translate to a token. They'll just move across to the MET token, the Meteor token, which who knows what it's going to be, a governance token with some benefits. Like we don't know. And this is why I think Ben Shao should still be sticking around in a low capacity to make up the damage that he's unintentionally done, and to help see this through. I think they need to use some stuff that Kato did. They need to use some stuff that Dupe initially did in terms of really rewarding the community, and they need to do what Hype did in order to make a successful launch. And MET tokens probably will give to the Solana Seeker. They certainly may be, but for the most part, they're going to be given to the actual people that are generating fees using the platform. Let's have a quick look at this. All right, so we came up higher and we had a small amount of fees, and then we've come on down. So this could be an example where if this starts to flash, like it's not really got this momentum, right? If we got in at the right time, that was up 20%, and I would have been happy, like I said, with 10 or 15. I'm not going to be greedy. So I could still even take profits here, but it's still showing it's got maybe a little bit of steam in it, and like we're jumping to conclusions so quickly. If this continues, like I said, we may want to like range trade this, except it's the YE token and like an unofficial YE token. There's snipers still in. I'm not a fan, to be perfectly honest. And the RSI is kind of, it's getting up there. So you know what? I'm gonna go and pull out at the small loss because we got in late. I'm gonna go and pull out a little bit. The thing here is, this is where you're gonna be like, wow, Seb, if you jump out now, you've just missed out on all these gains. Yeah, I have, but I've also secured some gains. Remember when Sol hit $290 last month, and we all just sat there going, next time. Take some money off the table, and then as you have some more wins, you can start to play a little bit more. I'm going to go and I'm going to withdraw 75%. Approve, and I'm going to flick this. And now, if it looked like it's still going up, I can go and flick all these tokens and just sell it, and I can pay the swap fee. Okay, the price is just dumped again. But I'll show you another thing you can do. You could add a position all in one bin if this came up again, right, at the right price, or if you knew what the bin was. And then, well, this is 2 bins, but we could do it as 1 bin or 2. I think the price has gone down again. No, it just stopped working. Okay, 1 second. We'll go add it to 2 bins. And this way, if we want to, we're not even paying a swap fee. If it manages to swap, then we're actually being paid to get it. And we just have to withdraw our Sol nice and fast. So this is all Sol, and this is pretty much all Sol. And I've also made 71 cents. So baller. Bam. We're gone. Withdraw. Close position. Made $1. 99 cents. Yeah. Cool. All right. Next question. What utility will the eventual Met coin have, do you think? Oh, look, I would love to. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Look, at the end of the day, what kind of could be cool? Like, you have to take bits of like other successful products, like Hype's success, and you use it. And so maybe this would allow you to vote on a new token launching on Meteor that's like kind of like sanctioned, or like a bit of a launch pad. That could be cool. But I think just hopefully just like a buyback, you know, use some of the revenue, buy back the Met tokens, that kind of thing. I'm not sure. How do we check Met points? There is a dude around in Twitter who's created a Met lead 2, a Met leaderboard. You can go flick your wallet address into this, AK47 Ven. Yeah, that's how you check your Met points. Have you seen the latest Solana protocol update for emissions? No, I'm not sure what you're referring to. Pump is coming soon. Cool. What does the LP Army Discord role mean? So if you do the LP Army Bootcamp, then you get like private or something like that. And it just means you're now part of the LP Army. You may end up getting a Met point allocation, a Met token allocation. I don't know. It's just like, you know, you've proven yourself. You've actually managed to do some Meteor stuff and actually become, you know, use some of the basics. You should definitely do the boot camp for sure. All right, so now we're touching our top of our range here, and I sold early because I was fine. I wasn't being greedy. I withdrew most, but it was, you know, basically a profitable decision, and I'm just teaching you stuff. I'm not here DLMMing. So if we got in early, we'll go from the top of the candle, right? Because we can't expect we'd go from the bottom. And I can't go right here, but like here, right? This is here. We're now at 21%. Now if we're doing this with the bid-ask system, we are selling for 1% gain, 2%, 3%, whatever. But we're selling most of it up here. So I don't know what that would work out to be, but if there's a 21% gain and we set it like, you know, maximum 30%, we decide to all sell out now, we're probably looking at getting like 16%, which is still decent. Now we're kind of breaking past this resistance. It can continue going, of course it could, but like, you know, this, as it kind of breaks out of this resistance, I'd be more inclined, this is jack all money in here, but I'd be more inclined to withdraw it and just sell it, to be perfectly honest, if I was doing this strategy here. All right, next question. Would you hold positions longer if the whole market turns and starts to pump? Would you hold positions longer if the whole market turns and starts to pump? Well, if you're dealer mimming, you're probably in a very narrow band, unless you had a sizable band. If it's starting to pump, like if Sol started to pump, then yeah, you're earning fees. You're earning fees. You can take all that USDC. Visualization is always best. Let's see if I have anything in this portfolio. I have in my portfolio some Sol that's way out of range. Like if it's I'll happily leave it here because I know the Sol price will come up here and I'll be back at plus even, plus EV. Here I bid the dip down to $145. And so at this point, this would be a good idea for me to go and withdraw this. I've earned a small amount of fees because there's a whole lot of liquidity here. But yeah, I'm happy to earn on the way up. Definitely. Adding liquidity is a worthwhile thing. I go and add this here. Bid ask. I wanted to start at say 146. Well, all the way up to here. Well, I wouldn't want to go for this short of a range, to be honest. I could do it, but I'd probably go into like a 200 bin, so it goes higher. And it sits out there, out of range at present, and then it'll start to sell. And then, honestly, like as you make some good profits, you're going to reinvest some because you just get addicted. Don't get too greedy and take some and just take it. Just take it, honestly. That's what I do. All right, let's have a look at years here. Let's come on down. It's starting to look like it's going to start losing its momentum. I would have removed it before, like I mentioned, but I was just kind of showing you how it all did its thing. It can still go up again, but like why be greedy? So we're going to withdraw this. We've been moving along. We've gone a little bit late because we weren't watching the charts. We'll generate the P&L, and we can go and sell this all right now if we want to. Add a position, 1 bin. If it's still going up, or 2 bins, 3 bins. If it's still going up, we may be lucky enough to actually sell on the pump. If not, we will just go and literally just sell it. Just do a swap right here. If it starts to go down, it's just something that you can kind of risk. If you do it like this, then you earn a little bit more fees, which is more points, and you just have a little bit more fun. But I would normally just put it all in 1 bin, but I just didn't do my slider correctly. I hope and think everyone understands that. Saw ye, which means the price has gone down and could continue to fall down. So I'll withdraw and close. Do a little swapperoo. Pay the fee. Slippage at 3%. Probably could have brought that down, but whatevs. And my Metlex showed that I made 10.57%. So we've made 10%, we've made 13% and 10%, and then whatever the other one was, I didn't click on it fast enough, but over 10%. And this is a small amount of money, but we basically just made 30% on a random token, which I don't agree with in any way, but whatever. Okay, next question. Yeah, check out Sol Jakey's video. Is a good one. Is a good dude. Is honestly like legitimately, he's a good dude. He just wants to make cool content. And yeah, Modi can face that. So you think Meteor is not communicating until the audit report? I think it would be a silly idea for anyone to come out and just go, we did everything right. Trust us, bro. You may as well just go shut your lips and go, here's our audit. Now let's talk about it. Just what has to happen, right? Otherwise, if you find something and someone needs to be disciplined, or you need to make good on something, which it's going to be hard to make good on the M3 issue for sure. And all the other stuff is like, you can kind of not forgive, but like be okay with Mulaney and whatnot. They're just like connections. like, yeah, you refer some. I've referred many things to many people, but the M3 is the only thing that really hurts. Do you have to claim fees before withdrawing and closing all? No. When you withdraw and close it all, it claims it for you. You just need to make sure that you're going to go and swap it. If you want to swap it back to Sol or USDC or whatever the other pair is, you go and do so. So, for example, here, bullish on Pengu. It has not performed well at all. It's been a massive loss for me. But if I go and withdraw and close all, you can see my beautiful Solflare. It's pulling all the different funds and all of the unclaimed swap fees. What are trenches? So trenches is a term used in crypto to refer to, I guess, like, it comes from, like, if you're in the military and the world wars or whatever, or even Ukraine right now, and you're in the thick of it, you're not getting any sleep, you're always awake, you're just fighting, you're fighting to get ahead, doing the best you can. The trenches are the crypto Twitter version of, like, just locked in on the computer looking for the next contract address, which is the actual token address that gets created that could potentially go from 100K to 1 million. That's what the trenches are. But then Jupiter has a new project called Trenches here. It's in beta because they're phasing out Ape.pro. Trenches is where you can put in this and it'll give you like an organic score. They still need more information. I've given them some information to the Jupe team, but basically GMGN is better, but this is still helpful. This is helpful. It's working out, like, are there bots or Sybils, just trading this back and forth, which is a really good thing. And it shows you a few things here immediately, which is cool. Holders, it's very clear. There's a minimum amount of information, but I do like to see, like, number of snipers still in it. And ideally, it'll show if it's been bundled, which is when a token's launched and just immediately a whole lot of connected wallets go and buy up the supply. Do you use DeFi in the other chains? I do. Sol is where, like, most of my time I'm going to play. But in this MetaMask wallet, I'll show you this. It's not private or anything. I wouldn't try to track it because it's a tutorial wallet, so this is not what I'm using for my main positions, but just if I want to do a tutorial. This is dbank.com. This is where you can track your EVM portfolio. I think Sonic is worthwhile, which isn't on this right now. I haven't come across the Sonic yet. So I'm on BNB chain, Base, Bearer chain. Bearer Hub is for the Bearer token. This is kind of doing well. Base, I was in it with Kato and ETH in Uniswap, which we can see in this position here. We've got some fees to open. I'll show you. Base, pool, view positions. I'm sitting in this range here that I've set. I think I did a video on this. I mentioned it somewhere. I've got $53 in fees that I've just been earning over. Well, it may actually show me my previous happenings. Maybe it doesn't. Should be able to see it in transactions here. So it looks as though I added on the 21st, so 4 days ago, I added $130 and $160 into this pool. Would I take that out? Is that saying I'm leaving my wallet? No, this is leave my wallet. So yeah, I add it to the pool. This is when it comes into my wallet. And thus far, it is, what did I say this was? Sorry. Okay, so this is, this is 290. It's growing in value to 315. and these are my fees. So it's made me $53. So I can collect those fees, and I'm bullish on Cato, and ETH is still going to do well. We can go and just take some profit and be like, all right, cool, we've taken some profit. It's nowhere near as significant as Meteora, but this is more of a stable, it's earning a good amount of fees. Cato's not going to rug. Like it's got product market fit. I pay for their premium version. I think it's kind of cool. I can then go into add liquidity, and I can compound the position if I want to, and then I can just play on. But yeah, compound away, grow, baby, grow. So yes, I play on other blockchains. I think Sonic right now is the blockchain where I want to have a little bit more fun, and specifically on the Shadow exchange. But let's have a look at this. This is their token, market cap and whatnot. And this is it here. I'll connect the wallet, but I don't actually have Sonic enabled yet. So it's going to add the RPC settings for Sonic. Sign in, confirm. I'd have to bridge funds over here using dbridge if I want to, and I'm doing it with my main wallet. And there is a bit of liquidity farming happening right now. But I think this is best to do if I just do specifically just a video on Sonic. But yeah, I think this is kind of worthwhile. One thing I'll keep in mind is when you see all these really high APRs, you're like, wow, oh my God, you can make that? Don't know why my voice changed, but this is not truly the case. If we go and deposit here, we'll see if we go for a more respectable band, it's an APR of 274%. And if it's insane, it has such a minimal amount of range that it's just a complete permanent loss. This is complete and permanent loss, but there are rewards in terms of their token coming. So I think that's kind of worthwhile. Let's have a look if use. Okay, so I missed this again. Apologies. So we had one. I mean, this is just proving well. Like there's not enough people watching this here to influence the the price of this. We had one red flick, and then boom, green candle. I would have re-entered again, because now when this MACD is kind of crossing up, in fact, maybe I haven't been focused on it for too long. Or maybe I did get out here. Basically, with this line being above, this is like we bounce off, up we go. So this whole period here, it's up 40%. And yeah, you can just go and buy the token if you want to, right? You can buy the token and then you can sell it at 30% or 40% higher and just scalp trade if you want to, like that. But if you earn fees along the way, it kind of protects your downside. Anyway, I'm not going to come back to this, but you can see that each time we entered a trade on the MACD going green, it was a profitable decision. Let's run through these last questions and then I think we'll finish up. But I'll be doing this every day until Solana's back above 250. My son and my wife have said that's okay. I used to use Hawkfire, but it's restricted in the US, so I do not use it either. Okay, well, I mean, DeFi is kind of a little bit more accepted worldwide now, so hopefully that changes. There are ways around that. I'm not saying you should do it, but yeah. I'm on Meteor right now dealing with a token called Raj, and it's printing nice fees. Let's check it out. So let's have a look at trending and see if it's reached my settings. Now, Raj is going to print fees because someone went and created Tolly, or Tolly came in about for whatever reason. All right, so this is a scam chart, just so you're aware. So if you're DLMing this one, there are a few out there. This is a perfect example of something you do not go and play in. The liquidity is not burnt. There's a whole lot of snipers, and their goal is just for people to buy this. They're just buying it up higher and higher. Sometimes these get to like $1 billion market caps, and they track, a couple of $100,000 worth of trades from other people, and they just sell it all straight down, and they take all the money out of the liquidity pool. So that one's a scam. Probably this one that you're looking at, because this is much higher volume. So, I mean, Raj's minutes. Could be this one. So this could relate to time.fun, which I can't bring up because I've got a time.fun thing. But my understanding was it wasn't like a full-on token. I'm still like learning it. So this could be. Let's have a look. This is the one that you're DLMing. 3,000 holders. Time. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Well, this one would be the right one, but I'm way behind on my questions, so I'm just gonna have to power through everything here. But let me just bring it up on the screen so I can't show anything. So time.fun. This would relate to time.fun as well, I imagine. I also have a token. I'm just not as famous as Raj or Anatoly. Is it even working? It's working, but it's just like it's just having a little like. So these are trending creators: Tolly, Mert, Santiago, Pay. And like I need it to. It's a few bugs to work out before I can work out what it is, but I don't know much about how the token's valued or whatnot, or if it gets pushed up. But the 5-minute volume, the 1-hour volume, yeah. Look, I mean, you're right. This is decent. Look, let's see if we can deal a limit. And we're just gonna have to. I'm sorry, the questions are going to take longer to get through. DLMM, plug it in. Raj, so probably the 1% fee, and I mean, I'm hoping this is correct, but I don't actually know, right? We could still come down like a little bit here, and we don't have to. Oh, apologies. Just getting used to a Mac again. I don't know. It's a very new token. How old is it? 1 hour. It's an hour old, so we've got some risk here, but we could come down 26% or so. Where's all my Sol at? Did I go and deploy it somewhere else? Did I put it in here? I need some Sol. I need some Sol. Give me some of that sweet, sweet Sol. Cool. All right. So back to the pools. Raj, 1%. Auto refresh. Oh, okay. I've suddenly got a whole lot more Sol. And bid ask. And what did I say? How far did it have to come down? 26. Let's see if we start to bid that, if it comes down. And if it doesn't come down, fine. All right, we'll have a look at that. I'm just going to run through the questions again. Christopher says, did you release Berachain DeFi video? Waiting for that one. I think I did. Maybe I didn't. Berachain. I think this one. How to farm on Berachain. That one I think you should check out. Yeah. Cool. Let's go back to the chart. Let's see what happened. All right. What are you doing? Muddy says, what are you doing with your stables and Sol, Camino, Lulo? What DeFi protocol are you using the most? I'll be honest. I don't have a whole lot of stables. But if I was like with some stables that I am using, Lulo is a game changer because you can just flick it in. You can flick it in. This is a debt that I really want to see success. That is not my wallet. I don't know if whose wallet that is. Maybe it's just an example. So do I have $1,000 in here? Okay, I have $1,000 in here, alone in this APY. And if I'm like, oh, I need this protected drift. Why is that earning 3.48%? Okay, so 6.49% is in drift, but it's like an insurance fund. So if I go to withdraw, I can withdraw this, bam. Nothing there. Custom. Well, this is an old pool, I guess. It's been there for a little while. That's with drift. But yeah, Lulo. I don't think you're going to find like Camino's. So I'm so bullish on Camino. They've done so well. They have a good risk engine. So they keep things very, very safe. But if you go and put your USDC in here, like you're earning 5% here, which is fine. 3% here, fine. It'll go up as the market kind of gets like hot. There's no point in really farming it in liquidity. I mean, you could do like USDS and USDC, but the DEX would have to be, in my opinion, it has to be on Meteora. And if it's on Meteora, then at least you know you're getting some net points. So this one, I would be down with this one if you want to do FDUSD and USDC. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. FDUSD is, I think that's what the Binance token that they've launched in collaboration with Paxos or somebody. Okay, so Viking marketer SIMD 0228 proposals now open for discussion, aiming to shift sole missions from fixed schedule to a market-driven model, reducing unnecessary issuance. Yeah, look, yeah, that's obviously as a validator, we're aware and talking about that. I was having an async chat with Nox Trades on it, and actually, I don't know if he wants to talk about his viewpoint on it, but I guess my viewpoint on it is any changes you make right now, you have to keep in mind that crypto is it operates in a cycle, and if this is too aggressive, then people there will not be many validators in the bear market. It just will not be possible to survive. There'll be a couple of hundred, and it'll be hard. What do you think about the 555 proposal? Well, here we're aiming just to talk about DeFi, my sir. And I haven't reviewed it, but look, I'm just going to back meow. I'm going to back meow, but I will look at it properly. So I'll have to let you know when I've looked at it further. And back to Viking marketer, voters expected in approximately 10 days around Epoch 752. This will 100. Yes, it will 100% pass, and yes, inflation will be good, but you know, once it passes, you can't really go back on it. And so I do fear for the smaller validators in the future, how they manage to keep going on. What about the Sol tokens? What's going to be unlocked on 1st of March? Why do you think this will make Sol go back to 130 or so? So there's like, I covered it a few days ago, but there's this massive unlock where people bought the FTX estate and a sizable amount, billions of dollars unlocks, and they're in profit. And you know, the expectation is that these people will realize the profit. So in some ways, like the price right now, it feels like it's already kind of been priced in, to be perfectly honest. But no one knows for sure because no one has a crystal ball. So you just have to protect in case it does go down. Unlocks are, get it unlocked, get the supply up. That's what we kind of want to see. Hey, let's have a look at this chart, because there's one mistake that I failed to make, and that is I just wanted to test how high previous jump ups had gone when it had flash green. And they're all sizable, but like this is a 1 hour chart. We're still waiting for this to dip down, if it dips down, and then redeploy for it to maybe go up again. But we'll monitor that. Otherwise, like, yeah, it's too early to say, yeah, just go and play with the range, because you can play with the range, the 1 minute volume, the 5 minute volume, 2.5K. The volume's kind of dying down. You can see the volume was like, wow. And so now the volume bar is actually showing that it's not really that interesting. And so if this continues to go lower and lower in terms of volume, then, people are kind of taking a break. Crypto is boring right now. All right. While it's doing that thing, let's go have a look at this. How do you change Yi to Sol and receiving error fetching route on Jupiter? So make sure you're using the right token, right? So GMGN, go find the right token, because there'll be a whole lot of fake Yis, right? If we go and type in Yi, there are ones with like zero volume, like this one. If you bought this one by mistake, there's no liquidity. So you go over here, go grab this, go to Jupiter Jupe, connect the Mundo, and $1 into this fantastic rubbish token, swap, and approve. So you may not have the right Yi. And then we're going to swap it back. We're not diamond handing that. Oh, down 5%. Fine. We'll do it. How's Raj doing over here? All right. Sonic is a beast, having fun on that chain. Wonderful. Sonic is has a lot going for sure. It's in the EVM world. It's getting a bit of it's being faded by Uniswap. They're not going to deploy over there. So I think that will be pretty fun. I'm using Shadow, Silo, and have a new DLMM Metro, which is good. They have a new DLMM Metro. What is this? What is this thing you speak of on Sonic? A DLMM Metro. Tell me more. So we have a Meteor equivalent? I doubt it. If anyone knows, let me know. Well, you're up early then, but you're welcome. Why is the video quality so low? Because I'm using StreamYard and I need to switch to Streamlabs, but it's just it just takes a little bit of time for me to like work it out. Are you still shielding Pumpkin? Never shielded, honestly. I jumped on a live stream, a Twitter space, and I listened to a few words, and someone was being like racially abused. So I said like, and I literally went out and said like, show the product, show the product, show the product. And I've literally said like, don't like, I'm not interested in the token. I'm interested in what tokens they can launch, because it has more of a cooler, fairer launch system. So Pumpkin as a token, like it's only going to do well if the DApp does well. So I think it's a safer thing, because we're in the space where so many things go to zero. See if it starts to launch some good stuff and then take a bet on it, as opposed to betting early. Or if you want to bet on it early, you're welcome to, but I don't want to do that. I put $80 on Met and I already made $20 in fees in 1 hour. Nice. Market just pumped. Let's have a look. CoinGecko, last hour up 0.7%, 0.2. So I'm not sure what you're referring to here, but cool. We're going to end this stream in a little bit, because it's taking a little bit. It's kind of late. So basically, everyone buys token on time and get time with him so he can answer. Yeah, I need to work out all the ins and outs of time.fun, but I think it's a pretty novel, cool idea. If you're able to like buy time and ask someone a question or jump on a call with someone, even if it's expensive, that's kind of cool, right? I mean, if you spent 10 minutes with Raj or Anatoly at a high rate, it probably steer you in the right direction. I've got these questions, ping. Lending Sol on Camino, is it better to add Sol or pay off debt, PYUSD, to avoid liquidation, or does it not matter? So I had like a whole lot of Sol and a whole lot of PYUSD, and my liquidation level was like $134. And it was safe for forever, and then it was like not safe. It's better to reduce your debt because you have I'll show you again. Everything's always better if I just show you. So if you go to Camino, and let's say we're in the borrow and lend market, we have a weighted option, meaning we start to get liquidated when Sol gets to 75%. So we could have $1,000 worth of Sol, and we put that all in, or I'll just show you again. Sorry. We put in one Sol. Perfect. $144. Approve. And I'll show you how much we can actually borrow in terms of, well, you said PYUSD, but it could be any of them. We can borrow $121, which is a loan to value of 64%, apparently. So if we go and grab our calculator, 121 divided by 144. Well, that's saying is, do I already have some Sol in here? Sorry, what's in here? Okay, that I apologize. 0.3. Let's withdraw that Sol and then let's try again, because that was not what was the expectation. But this is a very good lesson to cover. $93. So 93 divided by 144 is 64%. And then we've got 10% buffer before we get liquidated. So we can't, like, there's a lot of buffer in the risk engine, which is safer for them, but it's not safer for you. So you should reduce your PYUSD debt or size up your Sol position or whatever position you have over here. So in my opinion, like, your liquidation is just like, no liquidation is going to happen. Like, my liquidation level is now under 100. I would like it to be like 90 or 80. You just don't want to be close to liquidation. If you get liquidated and then Sol goes up to 250 again, you're just like, oh, it hurts. You know? Let's have a look at our friend Raj here, still coming down. So I'll be buying this dip, and I'll be hoping that it comes on up, but it may not. I didn't get the Warriors NFT airdrop interview, I don't think. I love Lulu. I'm using it with protected boost, which is really good, earns a good APY. Yeah, Lulu's great. Just finds the best places for sure. Talking about drift, what do you think if the major differences between drift and hype? More studied hyper properly yet? I don't get the last part of your sentence, but so drift is its own app, but it's on the Solana blockchain. Hype is its own DApp, but it's on an L2 of an L2, which means like it's essentially, it can go and do anything on this little environment, whereas drift cannot. So it's a pretty cool, clever thing like that. And Easy Bodega, he is very, very fond of hype. He thinks it'll go to $100 this cycle. So if you want to follow his live streams, you can. Maybe you want to get yourself some hype. Maybe you want to buy the dip now. Haven't played on it recently. I do feel there's a decent amount of risk with the Lazarus group, the North Korean hackers, that could, compromise their system because they've got very few validators. It's just like, it's not a FUD vector. It's just like, it's a very centralized system. 7K on Sui airdrop coming soon. What, from your Walrus NFT? Well done. Well done. Bank price, prediction market cap, right? Same for Zeus or Dupe. Zeus, I don't have like any knowledge of how well this token will do. I don't think it will necessarily do wonders. It's not on my timeline in any capacity. Dupe, I haven't looked at the timeline, but like I haven't looked at like the market cap kind of side of things. But Dupe could, quite comfortably go over, I think, like $6-7 a cycle. And then it should be something that will just last and last and last and last, as long as they keep on that DupeNet is a success, which is, I think it will be. And for Bonk, well, I had a big thesis on meme coins by listening to Murad Memedov and like trying to see his viewpoint. It's no longer as big right now, so it's hard to say, but I still think like 15 to 20 billion potentially, but it's really hard to say right now, and it's safer to go into stuff like DeFi, to be perfectly honest. I don't think market makers are waiting for us to, but sold cheaper because the unlock. They probably will pump it higher just before, also price impact will be only 2%. Okay. Metropolis is a DEX Metro, is a token. Okay, let's have a look at this. Meanwhile, this is a long stream, but that's okay. We may be starting to see a cross here, and we could come on up. Once again, I'm not going to be greedy here. There's a lack of volume. We have our first green candle. Let's see if this green candle stays a green candle. And if so, we'll do well. Remember, we really only do well once it starts to come above the center line. So right now, we'd need a few candles. We could even get in a little bit later as well, by the way. We could kind of wait until, all right, we've got something crossing here. And we could still be okay. But I'm going to give this one more candle, and then I'm going to see if it jumps up. I'm just going to withdraw it, actually. We'll just do it. It won't be with a whole lot, but we're going to put in $17 of this sweet, sweet stuff. If I generate this profit and loss, by the way, this will be at a loss because I was buying the dip. Refresh. Where's my Raj? Oh, is that all my token is because it's expensive, right? All right, somehow I still managed to make 47 cents. Winner, winner. All right, so this here, maybe we can go for like a 31%, just so it's not too greedy. We'll put it like that. If it goes, we'll see how it goes. Let it run. All right, we're putting in, we'll give it a refresh, and I'll go and have a look at this Metropolis and see if this is a DLMM kind of DEX. I mean, it certainly could be because Meteora, all right, $17.85. Let's see if we can make a 10%. So when you're finding new projects, the best place to go is on Twitter, because there's a lot of scam links out there. And as crypto kind of takes off again, then you'll find a scam link. It's far easier to see if like something looks legitimate, like, check if things are followed by whatever other people, and go check it out. DLMM DEX on Sonic. Okay. Cool. SUSDC. Great. Well, I need to bridge some funds over, which we can maybe do tomorrow. But I apologize if I get your name wrong. Lemuel Simis. Perfect. Appreciate that. That's good. All right. So people farming Monad, you think it's worth it? Any video plan for it? Yeah, a video will be planned. I think it's worth, like, it's not about like farming per se, or the expectation is an airdrop, right? But like, what if we can make crypto fun again, right? Like, what if we can just go and do something and find some fun, make some gains? That could be worthwhile. I was covering it. I did like a Twitter thread on it, but then like something broke on it related to their connecting player cards. So I have to work that out. But I reckon it's worthwhile. It's probably more likely going to be a VC chain using retailers X liquidity. Why would I say such a mean and nasty thing, Seb? Well, let's have a look. We'll come back to our pool here, see if we are in the money. If we go to look at Masari, and if we go, this is a Masari Premium. I do like Masari. Monad Labs raised a total of $244 million. That's absolutely massive. And because of this, these people are going to want a return, and they're going to get their return. The return is going to be retail. That's my viewpoint is. All right, I'm going to wrap this up in 5 minutes. Let's power through these questions. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. If you lend USDC and or SOL, you don't have to worry about liquidation, right? If you're just lending it, yeah, then if you're not borrowing against it, you don't have to worry about liquidation. The only thing you have to worry about is smart contract risk, which I think is very decently low on Camino because they've had so many audits and they've never had any exploits. Doesn't mean it can't happen in the future, but it's they're doing pretty damn well. And you do have to worry, I guess, about bad debt. But I don't know how they handle bad debt. They've never had bad debt. Bad debt is if SOL just falls to $80 tomorrow, they will not be able to liquidate the engine fast enough to keep everyone without accruing bad debt, and they may use their treasury or funds to cover bad debt, or they may socialize losses. But I don't think they'll do that, and I don't think that would happen. Thanks for watching. I got liquidated pretty hard this latest dip. Be careful, everyone. I would have been way better off with long positions and stop losses. Yeah, stop losses are definitely a smart thing to do. And also, this is where I need to spend more time. It's not my skill set, but I learned pretty quickly. And I didn't want to cover a whole lot of like charts, because the issue with charts are people kind of like, everyone has a different viewpoint, right? And then on top of that, they say, well, we could go sideways, we could go up, or we could go down. And then 2 weeks later, it'll go down, and I'll say, see, I did tell you it'll go down. It's like, no, you didn't. You said it'll do one of the 3 possible things. But one major key thing to keep in mind is, this is on the 2-hour chart. But when the RSI gets like very, very high, like it is definitely a sell. It's a good idea to sell some, right? And we can see the RSI was just screaming to be sold here, screaming to be sold here. But then all of this, yeah, like you can't really leverage until you know that BTC is kind of leading the way, and BTC wasn't really leading the way. It was just kind of going sideways. Having said that, like I did a chat with Katoshi. The stream is available if you want to watch it, and it was good. And he's like, okay, this normally happens, yeah, and then you normally see it move up. Fantastic. But then we just had like an ETH hack, and Solana crime season, and then tariffs were announced. So, and then that's when the market makers can decide, well, this is a good time to go and cook everybody. All right, so now this is an example of where the token did not go up as expected. It's still down here. So I would close this pool at a loss. I would take my loss, and I'd be like, okay, that didn't work. We're going down. Looks as though we're going to go red again, and I would say it's been a pleasure, Raj, but I will turn my $17.50 into $16.40. So that's like an example of when you wouldn't go. And I probably wouldn't, and I could be proven wrong, I could jump up again. As long as there's enough liquidity here, and if you see a pattern kind of forming, you could stay in and be in the range. But if I'm doing it just like to try and scalp it with Meteor, then yeah. Not being able to stop out of DeFi is a risk if you ever get leverage like me. Yeah, for sure. Like, I guess if the markets look like they could go a little bit haywire, you may decide to exit your liquidity farming positions. They don't have to stay in there all the time, right? They don't have to stay there. Are you farming PancakeSwap at the moment? Not really, but a little bit. I would jump into something and it did pretty well and made, a little bit of money, and then I jumped out again. I was in MyShell and BNB. And as this is a tutorial wallet, maybe I'm still in something and I've kind of forgotten about it, which is not an impossibility. On the BNB chain, okay, I'm still in TST and W in wrapped BNB. TST is a token that was like a test token by like Binance, and like down significantly from its all-time highs for sure. I don't know when I entered. Where is my PancakeSwap? Here we are. But I'll connect and I'll just show you. I'll show you what I look for. So if I go into farm liquidity, I'm just going to look for BNB chain, right? And I'm just going to look for the juiciest APRs that have what I think could have a little bit of oomph. Like, so one stage it was MyShell, and then MyShell's kind of come down. TST, I liked it initially, but it's kind of come on down. But there's nothing like hot right there right now. But you can get in on something for a short time, and then you can kind of jump out. Like, we can have a look at our history here. This is really good. So I added some liquidity on the 12th. Let's see, what was the cost on the 12th? On the 12th, it's like 14 cents. Okay. So I added, I don't know exactly what this is. I'd have to work it out. I wish it just told me it, but like this was 0.5. Let's just say this was like 1 BNB, which was like $650. I collected some fee, I added some liquidity, so I compounded the position, compounded, and then I added liquidity again. So I haven't removed any liquidity, and I've managed to turn this into a loss, even with farming it. So that wasn't the best situation, to be perfectly honest. So maybe what I would do here is I might remove like 75% of it, and just leave a little bit there just for some fun. You don't have to do that. You do need to keep an eye on your positions a little bit better than I tend to do sometimes, just because I kind of get busy with content. Take this TST. This may not be the right time to swap it, but I'll go and swap. And like, hopefully with all that, I'm a little bit closer to break even. But that was just me just playing with something. And I was going to do it in a tutorial, and then I got busy with something else. But yeah, I do play. As I was saying, I was playing with MyShell and BNB, but now it doesn't look like there's anything properly hot. All right, fire through these questions. Thanks for watching. This was a long one. I shouldn't have had it this long. Hey, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Not all pools are DLMM. All right, well, I'll work that out maybe tomorrow or whatnot. And yeah, thanks everyone for jumping in. Volume Meteor almost double from last day. I think it's a good time to DLMM. Yeah, follow the Goosetail geese, see what they're doing. Check out, what Token Guy is doing, and other DLM members. Jump into Meteor Discord, find some people there. I didn't take profits at all-time high because I mistakenly took big profits at 140, only for it to continue pumping to over 200. You can always take, a little bit of profit here, a little bit of profit here, but have a look at, like, the RSI and just what Bitcoin is doing as well. And I'll do that myself again. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I get that. Where do Sonic Chain release their tokens, like .fun and stuff? Oh, I don't know. I bookmarked it. I do a lot of bookmarks, and I haven't. I'll have a quick look, but I don't know what it is right now. Here it is. So I haven't played with this. So this is completely just letting you know that I've bookmarked it. That's all I've done. S.fun is live. It's a pump.fun kind of clone. But, like, does this have product market fit? Like, I think DeFi over there is more product market fit, to be honest. The casino world to me is kind of funny. Oh, Sonic fart dust. That's funny. Where's the Sonic fart dust? I saw it. Market cap $712. Clever because of but I'm not good at that sort of stuff. I won't lie. But in fairness, like, how many people are, right? King of the Hill test, a market cap of $3,000. I don't think you should play over there yet on that kind of stuff. Look at the DeFi stuff. You can find some memes in Shadow as well. Cool. All right, guys and girls and everyone else that was tuning in, appreciate it. I'll be live streaming again tomorrow, and we'll cover whatever topics you want to. Cheers. Let me just do this, and I'm out. Whoa. Yeah.